Good morning, everyone. So I'm out here in my garden this morning before people are kind of out and awake and doing stuff in their backyards, because I tried to film this process yesterday, and because of this coronavirus, everyone is inside. All my neighbors are out. It's nice out, understandably so, but it gets noisy. So I have inserted all of the clips that I was able to get, as you guys just saw, and I'm going to talk you through what I did yesterday. So I successfully removed the giant bush hedge thing that kind of grew out of control. Some of the remnants are right here. These are some of the pieces I have to still go through, trim back, because I ended up keeping a majority of the stick pieces because I thought that they would make really good trellis pieces. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to fashion them into a trellis yet, but I didn't want to get rid of them because it just seemed like a waste. There was a lot of nice pieces, and worst comes to worst, I can make a little fence with them, like a cane style fence. I have the little pieces that are left over here. I'm just gonna throw those in my compost because now I have much easier access to the compost, which was kind of the whole reason we wanted to get rid of the big bush, and I think we actually still have it out here. My dog enjoying the sunshine. I'm not sure if you can see it very well in here, but this big beast was ripped out of the ground. It was definitely laborious. It was difficult. There were a lot of roots, but the two best tools that came in handy were just a regular shovel and then some big long garden clippers that we just kind of dug down into the ground and just like clipped as many of the roots as we could expose. So that was kind of how we went about it. I wanted to film the whole process, but it honestly took so long. I think it took me about an hour to do. I didn't have that much footage capacity, so I did have help from my dad because one of us would like pull on it and kind of like expose some of the roots at the bottom, and one of us would like clip them, so it was definitely a team effort. But now we have all of this wonderful space to put garden beds, and I've got the two square ones, and then over here I have enough room for 3 more 6 feet by 3 feet raised beds. So you saw me fill this bed. It's just with kind of leftover stuff that we had and a lot of leaves, because I'm planning on putting a top dressing of some nice rich compost on top, and those leaves will break down and they'll kind of keep the soil aerated. So I'm going to probably be doing the same process in this bed, but it'll be more compost than mixed materials, because this was a lot of dirt that I had left over just to get it filled. So I'm going to put plants in here that really that are hardy, that don't care about the soil as much, and then pickier plants will go in here. I also wanted to take you over, I moved this wide planter in front of here just because I had the space, and this is where my green onions are growing. So I'm also going to be giving you guys a quick garden update in this video. So if all you wanted to see was the progress of the raised beds, the bush, and all of that, feel free to exit out now, but the rest of this video is going to be a garden update. So as you can see right here, we definitely have some green onions poking through. I moved this box because where it was getting a little bit rained on, because it was right underneath the shed, and there would be like a line in it after every rain because it was right where the drip edge was. And I think the little chipmunks that live under our shed were coming in here and digging a little bit. So I've moved it. Hopefully they don't find it. But we've got a lot of green onions. I did 2 plantings of green onions in this bed because the first round I did when it was colder and I didn't have super amazing germination, so I'm expecting to see a lot more pop up, maybe within a week or two. So then up next we have my little makeshift greenhouse that I was testing out this season. Now I attempted to film this, I did film it, but the footage got corrupted and I wasn't able to, half of the footage was corrupted, so I wasn't able to recover it. This was just kind of like my tester, and it did work for calendula and a couple of my broccolis, although this one is looking, we'll cover that root back up. This one didn't come in yet, it might still. This one has a little broccoli in there, if you can see. And then all three of my calendulas, 4, actually I got 2 out of this one. So this is a really basic like greenhouse, and I sowed these pretty early in the season. And you just cover it with the lid. I left a little space for ventilation, and I put a heavy rock on. So then over here we have my lemon balm and my chocolate mint. I just moved them next to each other because they weren't getting as much sun where they were. My chocolate mint is absolutely going crazy. So all I did to these plants was, I showed you in my most recent garden update, I just trimmed a lot of the old dead stuff back, and I topped on a layer of cow manure compost. It's just the bagged cow manure fertilizer that you can get basically anywhere, and I did that to all of my plants just because I had it. So this is the chocolate mint, absolutely loving it. The lemon balm is slowly coming back. We've got some new growth right here, a lot of new growth on top. I just, like I said, cut everything down, cut all the dead stuff off. I composted all of the dead plant material. It's great for your compost. So then in this little area over here, I have one chamomile start that self-seeded itself, which I'm happy about. I've got a lot of chamomile sprouts popping up in a lot of my containers that were just near the chamomile, so be careful with chamomile. It goes crazy and self-seeds itself like crazy. Then I have some radishes, which I've never grown before, and I kind of just threw them in here, hoped for the best, and I have so many radishes coming up. So when they say radishes are the best to grow when you're a beginner, they're not lying. They're pretty much foolproof. We'll see what they turn out like when they actually grow, but I'm just excited that I can see green and that something's growing. And then in here we have some bee balm. This needs to be replanted desperately, but we're not really sure where we want to replant it, and bee balm is kind of invasive, so we might just replant it in a bigger pot. Not sure yet. Also, there's a lot of weeds mixed in there because where it was planted there were a lot of weeds. In this pot I have lavender. Now some of my lavender is coming back. I did trim it quite significantly because what grew wasn't great, but this one is definitely coming back nicely. This one, we've got some growth, this one too, and we even have a couple pieces sprouting up. I do have to be careful though because there are some weeds in here. Like this is a weed, but this one isn't putting out new growth yet. But this lavender was again kind of an experiment from last year. And then over here, this is the last potted plant from last year that I've kept, is the sage and the thyme. I do want to move this, but it's pretty big, as you can see. I am waiting to move this until I have an exact spot for it because I'm not sure. I would like to bring it over to where the raised beds are, but it's a little big, so I don't know if it'll look good over there. But for now, here she stays, and here she is coming back. We've got a lot of new sage growth, which I'm very happy about. I used both of these, thyme and the sage, so much in my cooking. Thyme especially. Thyme is such a great plant to grow, and it's super easy to grow as well. and it grows really big really fast. So super happy with both of these. So I can hear my neighbors starting to come outside, so that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I make new videos every single week. But with that, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you're having a wonderful day.